Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we will be predicting the Premier League season, keeping cricket aside for a moment. So let's just get started. First team, Arsenal. So they are just a banter club at this point. No disrespect to them, but even their fans are fed up with them. So I have very low expectations from them. To be honest, I would keep Arsenal at 5th to 7th, but 8th to 12th seems legit to me. So Arsenal are going in 8th to 12th. Next is Burnley. Burnley, pretty defensive team. Aside from their centre backs and Chris Wood, the only person keeping them in the Premier League is Sean Dyche, their manager. And they are a pretty defensive team, pretty frustrating to play against at times. And I don't know. Hmm. Let's just put them in 13th to 17th. Chelsea. So, Chelsea have been really good the previous season under Thomas Tuchel. Under Thomas Tuchel, not Lampard. Lampard was terrible in his tactics. I cannot tell that he was terrible in his tactics because there were no tactics anyway. But Chelsea had a drastic turnaround last season from being defensively so weak to being defensively astute with back three formation, ball carrying uh, centre backs, and of course the midfield of Kovacic, Jorginho, who was really good at the Euros as well, and Kante. Kante is a superstar, was in the Ballon d'Or talks suddenly when France crashed out of Europe in the Euros. So until then, he was in the Ballon d'Or talks. So that's how good he is. Also, they have signed their retro man Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku gives them goals. I don't know how many goals he will miss, but one guarantee I can give you while signing Lukaku would be that he is certain to get 10 plus goals in a season easily, or 15 plus goal and assists. His record in the Serie A the previous season was absolutely mind blowing. In my opinion, Chelsea finish as the champions. Alright, now Everton. Everton are a tricky team to decide upon, I think. The previous season they started out so well, but had injuries and had a dwindling form. So I don't know, man. They have the goods like Calvert Lewin and James Rodriguez and Richarlison as well, who just won the gold medal at the Olympics with the Brazilian side. But I highly doubt if they can be that good to enter Europe. The only thing that was positive was the change in managers. I think Carlo Ancelotti is a wonderful manager, but I don't think that Everton is a team that Carlo Ancelotti should can actually readily manage because he is a top team manager, not a mid-table team manager. And Rafa Benitez is the Picasso of managing middle table teams. I remember when Liverpool were really bad and Rafa Benitez was the coach. He performed. He had his tactics spot on with Liverpool, and I know he called Everton a small club. Ironically, when he was the manager at Liverpool, I think he will do better. For me, Everton are going in 8th to 12th. Leeds. Marcelo Bielsa is the name when you first hear about Leeds. I think Leeds is a very good side, but I think without Calvert Lewin, this Leeds side has so many holes. You would have seen in game week 1 that how Manchester United just found those gaps in between the Leeds defense and midfield to just send them in disarray. So I know Marcelo Bielsa is a really good coach, and so I would look into the first game performance, to be honest. I think are a good side, not to certain that they are a side that will get into Europe. For me, Leeds are also going into 8th to 12th. Leicester, tricky, tricky, really tricky. Last two seasons, 5th, when they should not have bottled it to go to the top 4, but they did it anyway. I think their manager is superb, and they have really good depth now with signing Patson Daka and Yannick Westergaard also joining in. I really think that Wesley Fofana's loss was really big in that context. So um, I think this season around two, they will finish 5th to 7th. Now comes Liverpool, easily one of the best teams in England. Van Dijk, Joel Matip, Joe Gomez, Andy Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. The whole team is stacked. The only thing I fear about them is that they don't have appropriate midfielders for their system to work. I know Klopp used Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum's gone. Thiago didn't perform last season like he should have. He looked good at times, but only at times. He was not consistent enough throughout the last season. I know he's class, but he's also injured at the moment. Naby Keita, I wouldn't actually um, put the I mean responsibility on. I don't think he's as reliable as a Henderson, but they have Fabinho in the midfield. That is the most encouraging thing that I could say to Liverpool, because last season they had to literally play Henderson in centre back. If they stay fit, if their team stays fit, they would end up in second to fourth. Otherwise, I fear that they may not even get to fourth if they have the same injuries as they had last season. Harvey Elliott is a man to be on the lookout for. That man's dribbling is phenomenal. I saw some glimpses of him in the preseason in for Liverpool, and he was absolutely amazing. Next team we have is Manchester City, a club everyone hates in England. I don't really care because I am a neutral fan. I don't support any club. I just love good football. Pep Guardiola is their manager, one of the top managers in the world. Manchester City. I really don't know why they did sign Grealish, because their problem was that cutting edge in the final third, and then you go on and sign a midfielder or a left winger or a right winger. He's just going to provide more chances that you were already getting with Bernardo Silva, with Kevin De Bruyne, and their with Sterling as well. And I don't think their team is really expensive for the to be honest. And um, look, if they sign Harry Kane, then I think they can even be champions. But at the moment, I don't think the false nine thing is working for Guardiola. I think that Gundogan, Grealish, and Kevin De Bruyne having all these world-class chance makers in the team is not going to give them the goods to get good finishes. I think they can really like have high XGs and have less goals. Like with Brighton last season, they did not have a clinical finishers, but Graham Potter's system provides so many chances. I think Pep Guardiola's system is uh, pretty similar, and Pep Guardiola's system produces chances. They need a finisher, which they don't have. I don't think Gundogan is a reliable finisher of any sorts. So I could put them comfortably in second to fourth. Manchester United. Few people just um, started the title charge after a 5-1 thumping of Leeds in game week 1 for Manchester United. But they really have signed two world class players in Rafael Varane and Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho really solves their right wing problems, and they have really good depth in their attacking talent. Like, they don't have Rashford at the moment, but Pogba at left wing in a free role gives them another option. Like, they have options in attack. Again, just like Liverpool, I fear for their midfield, and in their midfielders, only one is reliable, and that is the ever reliable Bruno Fernandes. I think Pogba does drop down to midfield, but if Pogba has to play in midfield in a free role, then he's not defensive enough to not create an imbalance. I think that Pogba should have an elite defensive mid. I think arguably Kante does the job pretty well, but you know what? Kante is not going to leave Chelsea easily. And I don't think Manchester United can even buy Kante. I don't think Kante wants to leave Chelsea. I think they need a very, very good defensive mid, and Neves is not going to do the job. Rice is a good option, but he's way too expensive. I don't see them making any progress in any defensive mid aside if Kamavinga joins them, and I think a Kamavinga Pogba midfield is one of the most elite midfield partnerships there will be. I but I suspect if Kamavinga would be a good line breaker defensive mid because he has been really good in the center mid position. So for me, Manchester United comfortably in the second to fourth group. Hotspurs. Huh. Now, in game week 1. In game week 1, let's say they were really, really, really good against Manchester City. And Manchester City were very, very poor going forward. Aside from the last minutes when De Bruyne and a couple of substitutions came on, and De Bruyne was fantastic in whatever 10 to 5 minutes that he played. It was really good. He even attempted a shot on target, had a really good corner also, etc. But their tenacity with Nuno now, and it's like the similar system also, like Jose used. Jose was a counter-attacking manager, and Nuno is the same. And I think Nuno and Jose have pretty similar systems. And I think Tanganga was pretty good at right back, and Lucas Moura was really good. Heung-min Son is a good plus. He got the goal against City, but I really do suspect that they really don't have the depth. They have Romero in centre back. That is a good thing that they signed a centre back, because Davison Sanchez and Eric Dyer will not be dropping master classes every week like they did against Manchester City. So Hotspurs for me are going in 5th to 7th. Now, Aston Villa. Okay, I might be a little bit biased because I really felt bad for them because they lost Grealish, but they have signed Danny Ings and Leon Bailey, also Emi Buendia, so I think they would cope up with that. So, um, let's just say the first game week wasn't as good, but I think this team will just grow stronger into the Premier League. For me, they finish in 5th to 7th, above Arsenal, by the way. Don't be salty, Arsenal fans. I am not biased. Okay, let's go to West Ham United. West Ham United, pretty good last season. Soucek and Rice is an elite midfield partnership. Jesse Lingard was crucial for them in the last season. He was absolutely ballistic when going forward, but they are not getting Lingard. It is funny to say it uh, after a year, but Lingard was absolutely elite, and they cannot get a Lingard replacement for the time being. So um, they also have to cope up with the pressure of going into Europe. For me, I think they will just stutter a bit and finish 8th to 12th. Alright, Wolves. Let me see the result on game week 1. Alright, Wolves. I think they lost against Leicester in the first game week, as far as I know, and they are a tricky side to predict. Mm, they have a new manager. They haven't made any signings. Rahul Jimenez is back. That is the only encouraging part for them. For me, they are going in 13th to 17th. Now Brentford. Brentford looked really, really, really good versus Arsenal, and um, Ivan Toney is class, man. Ivan Toney is class. Also, their fans were pretty good in the game, but that is no matter in a prediction. But just to say that fans were class and they were actually applauding Saka, which was pretty good to see. Good to see a set of English fans being respectful. I just feel like Brentford is needs some more quality, but I think they will stay in the Premier League. So Brentford in 13th to 17th. Brighton are, as I said, Graham Potter's system creates chances. They just need a clinical finisher. If they need to invest that Ben White money into a clinical finisher before the transfer window ends. So I think they are a really good team. How they work together, in a sense of how they work together, and I think that they will stay up in the Premier League. They are going in 13th to 17th for me. Right. So Newcastle is was pretty bad last season, but Joe Willock just managed to get them not relegated. um I think this is their time to go down. I'm really sorry to say, but I think Newcastle is getting relegated. Norwich, they have Cantwell, they have signed Rashika, but their centre back partnership is not reliable anyways. So you go into relegation as well. Alright. And Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace have a new boss, Patrick Vieira, legendary Patrick Vieira with Arsenal. They have a really good squad. I think the match against Chelsea wasn't the full picture of what they could be. They were thumped, by the way, 3-0 with Marcus Alonso. Believe me, if you want to, scoring a brilliant free kick. And Chelsea were overall dominant in that game, but I think that I wouldn't look into the first game too much. However, I think Crystal Palace do have the goods to stay up in the Premier League for this season. Alright, Southampton and Watford. Southampton, everything's going down, man. You're getting relegated, in my opinion, that is. Just lost Danny Ings. the person who provided them goals and assists and whatever, And also, Southampton have lost Yannick Westergaard, one of their centre backs. They haven't made any signings. I don't know why they haven't. Um, the fans think that they can stay up. Of course they would, but I really don't think that Southampton will be good this season. And it was like evident when in that game against Everton, like they were leading Everton by 1-0, but in the second half, completely outclassed by Everton, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin getting the goals. So I think the Saints are getting relegated. I'm sorry to say, but it is what it is. Watford, bang average team in my opinion. Sorry to banter them, I have nothing against them, but I really don't think that they are that good. But they are not as bad as Newcastle, Norwich, or um, Southampton. I think they got a win, right? I think they got a win on the opening week. Watford are going in 13th to 17th. Okay, now in order of their places, let's just make a good order, shall we? I think first is Chelsea. Let's just shift City to second, United in third, in my opinion, Liverpool fourth. Tough thing to say, but I think Hotspurs will be fifth, Leicester sixth, Villa seventh, Arsenal eighth. Arsenal are not going to eighth. No, that's not happening, man. They were terrible against Brentford. Arsenal in 10th, in my opinion. West Ham and Leeds can switch places. So, Everton in 8th, West Ham in 9th, Arsenal in 10th, Leeds in 11th, Brighton in 12th, in my opinion. 13th, I think Wolves is. I think Brentford should be 13th, Wolves in 14th, Burnley in 15th, Crystal Palace in 16th, Watford just escaping relegation at this point at 17th, Newcastle relegated at 18th, Norwich at 20th, and I think the Saints will be at 19th. So that is it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you did not, I would love to hear the alternate opinions on everything in the comments down below. Subscribe if you want to. Don't if you do not. I think if you want to subscribe to my channel and get the content, you should subscribe if you want this content, I guess. But who am I to say? Bye.